I'm Nancy Hamren, and I work at Springfield Creamery. I'm the namesake of all their products. I've been with them for 40 years. From the very beginning, it has tried to improve the quality of dairy products that the Oregon creameries produce. I think this might be record attendance this year. 40 years ago, there were a lot of little creameries, and they all were sort of local and produced enough milk for who was around them. And slowly those little creameries have died off. The bigger co-ops were more efficient, and they could sharpen their pencils better. Our little creamery realized that we had to do something unique, or we were probably going to die out too. Cultured products was an area of interest that we liked, and also nobody else was doing it quite like what we were doing. We've kind of gone through a phase of small creameries dying out and the big co-ops taking over, and now you've kind of seen a change in direction. The big co-ops, the big creameries will always be there. You know, they have to feed lots of people. Little ones can't do that. But it's kind of interesting to see a change in perspective. I think quality will continue to go up. I think people are paying more and more attention to ingredients and wanting cleaner foods, kind of, you know, not wanting the genetically modified organisms. So at least, unless I'm in a bubble here in the Northwest, I think we'll see more attention paid to really healthier products. Dr. Elliker was a wonderful man. Taught at Oregon State for many years, was a mentor to many people, especially us. Chuck Kesey took his class at Oregon State. He learned to understand how valuable what we now call probiotics are. It was acidophilus at the time, and it was helping save baby calves who would develop scours if they were taken away from their mothers too soon. Chuck learned that acidophilus was actually pretty beneficial, and it was mostly in veterinary sources. In other words, you could get it for your calves, but humans never got it. You know, it was never in a product that humans could access. I think Dr. Elliker and Dr. Sandine as well, who both very different people, but both very committed to dairy bacteriology, really kind of piqued an interest in Chuck, that he wanted to do something with that. Chuck and Sue ran the creamery for about 10 years before I came to work for him. And I had been making yogurt at home, and so Chuck said, let's try making your yogurt down here. And we added acidophilus to it, and later added bifidum, and then KCI and rhamnosus. And people really responded to it. You know, they realized that digestion is a cornerstone of good health, and that these organisms, these friendly bacteria, are very critical to keeping a balanced digestive tract. Dr. Elliker went on to be a mentor for years and years. You know, he's one of my heroes, and I miss him a lot. Fred Kesey, who ran Darigold for 25 years, Chuck and Ken Kesey's dad, and he just had a real rapport with his community. He understood that creameries were kind of the heart of a community, and that you needed to give back to them. And so he was always, you know, sponsoring little league teams. And one of his good ideas that he came up with was if the kids would cut out the Darigold symbol on their milk cartons, if they collected like 10 of them, they could get into the matinee at the McDonald Theater for free. In order to get the kids to settle down, before they showed the movies, Ken Kesey and his brother Chuck would go up on stage and do magic tricks. And now, these days, Fred Kesey's grandson owns the McDonald Theater and continues to put on concerts. So it was kind of started it rolling there. Back in the old days, we were sort of the young kids and we had a little hippie element to us, although we had good leadership and certainly pasteurizers, you know, that were licensed and so on. I remember somebody was paying their home delivery bill, I can talk about Echo Spring now because they're gone, so I'm not maligning them. She said, I told the Echo Spring driver that I was going to start taking milk from you from now on, and he got really mad and red in the face, and he said, don't you understand those people feed opium to their cows? And she said, would you please let me know if this is true? I may wish to increase my order.